This is Laura Ranieri, and I'm really excited to be here in Cairo, actually in Heliopolis, with Ted Brock, who is an Egyptologist, and I'd like to say he's a Canadian Egyptologist, although born in New York, with his education, his graduate degree from University of Toronto. He has been working steadily in Egypt since 1982, working on a variety of projects through actually finding KV63, the first tomb to be found since the discovery of Tutankhamun's, and many, many other projects, currently working on the sarcophagus of Ptah. Please let us know about your latest project.
Yes, Laura, thank you very much for that introduction. I've been working not only the last couple months, but the last 3 years on this project to reconstruct the sarcophagi of Ptah, who had 4 stone sarcophagi, one set inside the other. These were all broken up in antiquity, and now I'm in the process of trying to piece them back together, at least what's left of them.
And is this your favorite type of work that you've been doing, this kind of jigsaw puzzle work here, or give us an idea of the kind of scope of work you've done over the last 20 years here, or 30 years?
Laura, I've not only done these giant three-dimensional jigsaw puzzles, I have also worked on various archaeological excavations, ranging from working in the Dakhla Oasis with the Dakhla Oasis project, another Canadian project, from that to working with another Canadian mission in the East Delta, the Tel El Maskuta project under John Holliday. I've worked in East Karnak with Donald Redford on the Akhenaten Temple project. I've worked in Memphis. I've worked in Karnak and Luxor, where I've been involved with supervising archaeological discoveries made during the installation of drainage and sewage projects around Karnak and Luxor to not only take care of sewage problems, but also to lower the water tables that were endangering those temples.
And today, working as you are in these troubled times, really, here in Egypt. Tell me a little bit about some of both the challenges and opportunities facing Egyptologists.
Well, Luxor has been relatively quiet during the last few years during the revolution and its aftermath. There has been very little in the way of any sorts of demonstrations or incidents or violence. We've been fortunate. And we haven't experienced the types of vandalism and damage and looting that other sites, such as in the Cairo region and Egypt, have suffered. So in that sense, we're happier situation. The people in Luxor are wonderful. They appreciate their heritage, and they like that people are trying to do something to preserve it. And they are very appreciative of the efforts of various missions to preserve and present their heritage. They do see it as their heritage. They grew up with it. Their fathers and grandfathers, and all the way back to Pharaonic times, really, see this as part of their culture.
In terms of all of the different projects you've worked on, tell me what is your most proudest accomplishment that
I think really that what I've been working on most recently has been certainly a very valuable contribution, this reconstruction of the Ptah sarcophagi, and before that, what I cut my teeth on, so to speak, the reconstruction of the Ramesses VI inner sarcophagus. I think these projects are going to stand as my contribution to the field. And it's really kind of a dream come true, and I'm quite proud of what I've accomplished.
Do you think that Canadian Egyptologists have made a big footprint here? And what have been your experiences with that?
Well, Canada has a proud history over the last 25 years. I think the project of the Dakhla Oasis, run by Tony Mills, formerly of the Royal Ontario Museum, has been a lasting influence on multicultural and multifaceted approaches to studying an ancient culture. Work of the Akhenaten Temple project by Donald Redford has revealed a lot that was hitherto unknown about that particular complex of temples that appeared in a very short period of time and then disappeared in an even shorter period of time. The work in of John Holliday in East Delta and Telemascuta, for example, has helped to show the influence of foreign cultures on Egypt in the end of the Middle Kingdom and on into the Hyksos period. And
Is it safe for Egyptologists and for travelers in Egypt today?
I would say yes, it is safe. Certainly, I've heard of no incidents of danger to any Egyptological missions that have been working here. There have been concerns by their supporting universities based mainly on insurance issues, which have prevented some of these missions from being able to work in Egypt, even though the sites they were working on were not in any sense endangered by any sort of thing. But that's not an issue that has anything to do with this country so much as it is concerned with financial issues in the States.
Right. If you were a pharaoh, which pharaoh would you actually be?
Well, definitely not Akhenaten. I would have to say I think maybe one of the Amenhotep III would be more fascinating to live under his reign.
And can you elaborate why? Why in particular?
I think it was a high point of Egyptian art, culture, international diplomacy. I think it was really, truly one of the golden ages of ancient Egypt, and I think others following him, such as Ramesses II, really were trying to harken back to his time and imitate him.
He looks like such a friendly guy, too. I get a good vibe from him myself. Ted Brock, Egyptologist here in Heliopolis, working in Luxor. Thank you for your time.
Okay. Thank you, Laura. Thank you very much.